Hi guys, welcome back. I missed you last week, but that's just the way it goes. Too busy to work. Nothing I could do about that one. So, anyways, come here. This is what we're going to do today. We have a new set of tyres for the Jeep. So, I went for an all-terrain set, and I went for what's called Falcon Wild Peak 83W WA. So they're what are they? They're a 265, 65 or 18, and they're rated for load rate. I think that's 114T. Not too sure what that means, but I think they're 2-ply, so they are rated for say light trucks, LTs, and so why I went for the all-terrain, well, basically they look better. They look better than the ordinary road tyres, right? I know they might be a small bit heavier on the diesel, might be a little bit noisier, but you will soon find out. But what's on at the moment, they're fairly shook at the moment now. There's not much left on that, so there's not. So it's either go for another set of road tyres, which I wasn't really wanting, or go for a set of all-terrains, which I was wanting. And apart from the BF Goodrich, which are way on my price league, these come in roughly around second best, I think, to myself. Done an awful lot of reviews on them now, and an awful lot of good reviews about the Wild Peaks. They are snow rated. They have the 3 peak symbol there, but don't think we're going to be getting much snow down this part of the country, down here in County Wexford. Although in 2018 we got an awful lot of snow. So much snow, I wasn't even able to open the gates out there. So it can go that way. But no, I got these basically for help with the looks of the Jeep. They'll make it stand up a bit bigger. And you would have seen last year I was out doing a little job for the brother, and I had to go down through a field, and I damn nearly got stuck there. So these would have helped even last year, but the tyres weren't as bad last year as they are now. So right, we're going to go over, get them put on, and we'll see what you like. But at the moment now, I just want to measure here. The ride height of the Jeep itself is about, what's that, 310 mil there, that side. I'll go over and check the other side, because maybe she might be leaning sideways, you wouldn't know. No, same there as well. Around the 310. We'll see what it'll bring up. Should bring it up a good bit now, because like there's no treads left on them, and if you can see on these ones, we have a load of tread, a lot of deep grooves there for throwing water out, throwing mud out, throwing out the little stones. I have a bit of so she's a bit bulky on the sides, right? Not major now, nothing like the BFs or some of the other ones, but yeah, she's chunky enough now for what I want. So we're hoping now she won't be too noisy. But this is the ratings for her animal, if you can see that there now. So that's the size of her again. That's the ratings of her. So look, we'll throw them back into the Jeep there now, and we'll head off over, and we'll try and get them on. And look, we'll give you a look at it when we have them thrown on, and we'll bring her for a spin, and we'll see is there much difference in noise. So I'm thinking myself there will be a small bit, alright, because I've had all-terrains and the other Jeeps too, and now I had BF Goodrich years ago now, and they were okay. And then my last set then was called was it Black Bear they were called, I think they were. Now they were noisy enough, alright. They were the ones that would have been on the Ford Ranger that I had previously. So this is the first set I have now for this Jeep, and so look at it. We'll see how they go. Right. I'm not too bothered with the noise myself really, but sure. Look, I'll just turn the radio up. That'll be it. But look, right, come on, we'll throw in these and we'll get going, because it's too cold to be standing around here. Right, so we're back. We have the tyres on. And already I can notice the difference just by getting in and getting out of the Jeep there. So they do look good on her. Now, and she does need a good wash. So what are we up by? We're up by almost 40 mil higher. So yeah, you actually would notice I getting out of the Jeep now, so you would. Yeah, just 40 mil higher, so a nice bit of a difference. So she actually do stand even a bit better. So what I'll do next now, when I go for a spin, I'll get to a main road and we'll just see is there much noise out or is there anything at all. Up where we are now, back roads, by roads, it's all rough roads around us anyway. So coming back on the rough roads, as they were rough roads to me, she seems a bit softer as it is. Probably a bit more wall in the tyre. So yeah, should look it. We'll go bring her for a spin. We'll give her a wash. She'll be done then, and we'll see what else we'll do today. So there is a few other mods I want to do with the Jeep now. I probably will maybe next year invest in a set of black alloys for her, say all-terrain alloys, and I hope to put a lead bar on her fairly soon. So dark mornings and all, so lead bar will come in very handy. And yeah, that'll do then. I think I might get a canopy for the back of her as well actually. Yeah, I might order up a canopy for her as well. Handy just for storing tools and stuff like that. I know she's very handy for when I'm going to get mail and stuff like that for the calves, which I have to do now shortly as well. But yeah, a canopy for storing tools and all would be very handy too. I can always bring the trailer for mail and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's what I must do next. I must go for a bit of mail then for the cattle, and we'll take it from there. We'll bring her for a spin down the road, I'm sure, first, and we'll see what she's like. And if we can find an old patch of bad ground, bring her for a rough drive. We'll see what she's like. We'll do that. But at the moment, that's it. I know his tyres are on. They keep me driving safe for another while. So right, we're coming up onto a main road here now, so we'll try out these tyres and see what we think. But I'm happy enough with them so far anyway. I couldn't hear anything, any sort of noise, bar wind noise coming in, say, from my home place. So this is about 10 minutes drive from my home place to this main road, say. So we're now at 100 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit, and I can't hear no difference at all. All I hear is wind noise basically, but the Jeep itself does need to change a gear because we are on a bit of an incline, alright. But I just started cruise control now, lever off. Now, that's where we're settling down all our gears. At 100 kilometers an hour, or 60 miles an hour, to my friends across the water. There are no different road noise of these tyres now than the ones I took off the old set, and they were road tyres. So, no, very happy with the noise wise. Very happy. They're actually comfortable enough driving on the bad roads out our way too. So it all depends now when we get rain and what they're like on wet roads. But so far so good. They are good. So that's the type of road we're travelling on now. At 60 kilometers an hour. Wind noise, that's all you can hear. So we took the Caravan out of the garage there 2 nights ago, and last night it absolutely lashed it down. So I just want to come in now and check it, see what the crack is. that's where it was dripping down there, so seems to be okay anyway. Now I do have the Caravan at a bit of an angle, so any water that did fall was going to flow back the way, but seems okay there. But the big test will be, I'll lock that again. Yeah, but the big test will be when we go away now and we have it all level and stuff like that. So it will that will be the test. But it's been a few days now since we put the new tyres on the Jeep there. They're actually a bit dirty. I was actually up in a field the other day with a man who was cutting a few sticks, and I had no camera with me now. But anyways, he was only looking for a chat, so I called up to him. So yeah, she ploughed through the field fairly good. The wheels did fill up an awful lot with muck, because I left an awful lot on the road behind me. But however, that's the way it goes, isn't it? But I have to say now, very happy with the tyres. Extremely quiet. Didn't realise they could make all terrain so quiet actually. The roads this morning now, I know we had a lot of rain last night, but the roads this morning weren't fully, I would say, flooded, puddled over or whatnot. So not too sure what they are like in the wet. Greasy roads, greasy this morning there now. So look, I don't throw them into bends anyway, so I don't know. I can't just know whether she's any good for holding the bends or not. It's not the way I drive. I don't throw them into the bends. So I just do take it nice and easy. But so far so good anyway. I know they're a thicker wheel, say they're a 65 instead of a 60, but I think she's more comfortable on the road as it is, even with them. But I just can't get over how quiet they are on the road. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable how quiet they are. So, because I remember the last set I had on the Ford, I said this already, I know I'm repeating myself here, but on the Ford Ranger, they were the black bears and they were noisy. So, yeah, they were noisy, but these are unreal quiet, so they are. But now, what I might do here today, I don't know whether I'll have time or not now, but I fancy putting a set of these. I fancy putting a set of these in here. Just stick them there. The reverse light on that there, which is there, and the camera is up here. And the camera is up here. Oh, excuse me. Is very poor. So I was thinking maybe I might put a set of these in here, maybe drill them in, or maybe try and make up a bracket of some sort. I'll have a look now. I have two of these, one there and one at that side. But I'll have a look now in a minute and see. I'll get in under it. I might actually put her up on I know she's high enough, but I might actually put her up on the ramps. Might make her life a bit handier to have a look in at. Now my plan is only just to wire them straight into the reverse light. So I've seen several lads doing them online there now, and several different ways, and this seems to be the handiest way. Some lads run a cable from their battery right back, have a relay switch back here, and then I've seen an awful lot of fellas just wire straight into your back light there. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'll go that way. They're only are 27 watts. So 27 watts, which is say 48 watts altogether. I don't think that's a lot. Now look it. Tell me down below if that's too much for it. I'll know when I turn it on, put in reverse and nothing happens. Then I'll know. But look it. We'll chance it on and we'll see how we get on. So right, will I put her up on the ramps or not now? That's the question. Because she is high enough, but still I wouldn't mind her a bit higher. Right, I don't know whether that makes life any handier now or not, but she's well up now anyway. So she is. Yeah. So I might just put a few jacks in there just on the safe side, just in case anything does happen. Just in case they give way now or anything like that. Wouldn't be a whole lot of weight in the back of that now, alright, yeah, but Not compared to this morning. I brought home, was it 380 kgs of mail for the calves in it this morning, so she knew about it. But and there's a design for that, they said anyway. So right, I'll have a look under this now and we'll see what way we're going to work this now. So what I'm doing here now, I'm just using these joiners to join here. So you make it out now or not. Right there, these joiners have a small bit of solder iron in them. So when you heat them up, that melts like that there. He's a here, but that's melted now, so them two are joined. So I'll do the same with the two negatives. And so the plan is then these two will get joined. That one there, and then from there then it'll go up into the reverse lights. So I'll join these two lights up, and I'll show you then what the plan is. So a handy way now, I have that joint done. That's shrink wrap now again the second time around. So a handy way to check them to make sure that your joint is working right. All we have is a small Milwaukee battery here. And if I touched now, you see that? So that means our joint then, that'll bring it down a bit. Now, we might better see it better now. So that means we have a good connection then. So, right, we'll continue on to the next one. Right now, so that's them soldered in there now. So I just need to heat shrink them some way now and try and make them some way waterproof anyway. Right, that's the two lights wired up together now. So we have our earth here and we have our positive here. That's going to be, I took this off a second ago there. So we're going to be going into that light blue wire there. So I have these little try and get them out here now. I have these little T-joints here. So I have these little T-joints here. So I want to chance one of these and see what happens, see will it work or not. Not too sure now whether to do, but we'll give it a go. Just saves having to cut. Just saves having to cut the wire. I can put it on there for a second. So I'm hoping like that. I'm hoping he'll just clamp in there like that on that one. Create the that's what will create the two will be live then, say. That's what I'm hoping on it, but we'll see how we get on. So now whatever I'm doing here, don't take it for gospel is the right way to do it, because I don't know much about wiring. I'm just going by what I see on YouTube myself. So look it, if it's not right, let me know in the comments. It probably will anyway. And if it's not right, she won't work. So that's just the way it is. And I'll figure out some other way to do it. So, but this is the way I want to try it first and we'll see how we get on. Pity I had more light in this place here. Could do the light over where we're working, but what can we do? So now, I'm going to drill a couple of holes now next, and we'll set these lights in then, and then we can run the rest of our wire, because that wire is too long at the moment, but I don't want to cut it in fear I might cut it too short. So we'll drill these holes now next anyway. You devil. I hate when that happens. Now we put a bit of spray now, hurry, just to help for rust. Just give it a bit for luck. So, one hole there, one hole there. Now I'm not going to lock up anything now at all yet, so I'm just going to leave everything loose, and I'll get it wired up, and then we'll see what way she is, just to make sure it's all working and everything. Right, a quick run through what I'm after doing here now. It's hard to video it all, especially, I tell you what, it's hard to video when you actually don't know what you're doing. So I'm trying to think and make sure I'm doing it right. But anyways, I turned the light on here. So we have this little T connector here. So what I'm going to do now in a minute, I'm going to check now everything is right. I'll bring him up there, and I'll heat shrink him into it. That's me live coming down. So we have our lights in. They're not fully in properly yet, I don't think I have any. And that one there, so we have the cables that hang in here, right? Yeah, but we won't mind that yet. So I don't have no conduit for the live, that's the main problem I have. But what I'm going to do now, I'll cable tie it up here to all these this big conduit up here. I'll cable tie this up, and we have our earth then. I'll be able to see it up there. Our earth is running up to here, so when my finger's pointing. So I need to set them there on, but before, sorry now for blindness, but before I do that, and before I put my light back on and all, there's my light there, before I put that back on, heat shrink up, I'll stick her in reverse, and I'll see whether or not she's working or not, so you can see her there now as well. So lights are there, let me know if they come on. Oh, he's not getting blinded there, I'd say. Right, that's success anyway. By God, they are bright. Right, we'll turn them off. We'll clean up the whole system. Be quiet. We'll clean up the whole system, then we'll put a few cable ties and stuff, put that light back on again, and later on then when it's a bit dark, we go and bring her for a spin, and she'll look at, we can check it out. Yeah, that'll come in very handy now for when as I said, reversing up the trailers and stuff like that, which will be very handy. So right, I'll clean this up, and I'll show you the end results once it's dark, probably in about an hour and a half time or so. Right, I said I'll give you a look at these there. There's plenty dark there now, you can see that. She shines up the whole garage with them, so she does. So, there's the dog there. So if you can make out, that is the old reverse light. And that's the new ones now. So yeah, some job. Now, might be on the ground too much, I'd say though. That's them now. That's me standing in the tub now, so. I might have to just angle them up a small bit, because I'd say they might be on the ground a bit too much. You don't want them too high though, because you blind people behind you, so. So look, that's it for this week anyway. And yeah, questions, throw them down in the comment section down below. I'll try and answer them. As I said, don't follow me just because I done it this way. Do it your own way, whatever way you want to do your own, just do it your own way. This is the way I done mine anyway, and it seems to work anyway. So look, if you enjoyed this week's video, please give it a thumbs up, throw a comment down below, subscribe as always, and look, go on, we'll catch you in the next one. Alright, mind yourselves.